First thing I'll say is learn who you are. Learn about who the hell you really are. Most of our people, what we refer to as 85%, those who are easily led in the wrong direction, hard to lead into the right direction, poison animal eaters, slaves to mental death. These are the people who are being manipulated. They really don't know who they are. So learn about who you are. Now, there are different parts to our culture. We have a lot of different parts. So learn about these parts, but just understand first, you are the original man or woman. Start with that. Before you go into any other labels, you are the original. You were here before anybody else was here. Boom. Start there, and then you can start growing from that point. Two, learn about your culture.
Yeah, you are the original people. I am the original person, or you mean like my great grandpa? And then unless you're Nation of Islam and you take the same, a belief that he has that, white people were made in a laboratory, then for most of us who may somewhat agree with some of his perspectives, which is fair because a lot of stuff he says does have some truth to it, that whites and Asians and Hispanics still come from black people. So you think about you're the original man. Why would they not be the original man too? We all have the same great grandpa and grandma. So wouldn't they be the original man too? So that's the distinction I don't get when they're making these points. Again, for Riz Islam, in his defense, he's being consistent because his belief, as crazy as it may sound, is that whites were made in the lab. Now the thing about that is,
Yaqub is a figure in the beliefs of the Nation of Islam. According to the teachings of the Nation of Islam, Yaqub was a black scientist who lived around 6,600 years ago and is said to have created the white race through a process of selective breeding. This narrative is a part of the theology of the Nation of Islam and is not a historical or scientific fact.
Yaqub! Yes. Well, I won't even get into all that part right there. I'll just say that, so for him, he's been consistent, but for the rest of us that don't hold to that belief, they're just as much the original man as we are. I'm not the original man. What he means is that my ancestry is linked to the original man, right? So and then he says, know who you are. What does he mean by that? And he says, know who you really are. That's that real McCoy fallacy again. That's that real McCoy fallacy for the folks out there. What do you mean by the really who I am? I am who I am. I see who I am. You mean physically? You mean my values, you mean my preferences? You mean my, what do you mean by I am who I really am? Then you said culture. I don't have to be married to my culture. Culture is the way I was cultivated. It is not me. I subscribe to a particular culture. Typically as a child, you subscribe to the culture against your own, not against your own will, but without you actually choosing it. It's chosen for you. Why do I have to marry myself to it? As I get older, and freshly, as I get older, can I decide to pick a different culture if I want to?
Mozi, Kaicho. Where you get that from? I like that. That's good.
I said, that was cool. My parents did a good job. I like the culture they picked for me, got me where I am now. But now I'm going to go assimilate to that culture over there. I like that one better. Am I allowed to do that? So when these guys are throwing this word culture out there, which is cuisine, artifacts, religion, all the things that go along with a culture, we learn this in school. Why do we feel such a need to ride or die for the culture? It's random. We can pick and choose. I don't like that kind of food. I don't like that kind of music. And it's just fine. It doesn't change who I am as a person.
Huh? You embarrass me in front of my wife? My kids out there? Kenny, you embarrassing yourself. You're a black man with a Chinese restaurant on Crenshaw.
On this show.
This is the hottest show on the planet right now.
What's the debate?
Ain't no debate.